I think that when I was going into IB, I thought that I would be doing a lot of it alone. But the truth is that IB kind of fosters a community of people who are all going through the exact same thing as you are. And so you kind of become really reliant on each other, and there's just a massive amount of support among students and between students and teachers, and it really becomes much easier than just doing a bunch of assignments and meeting a bunch of deadlines on your own.
I think the thing that really drew me was the fact that, one, it's a very holistic education. We learn about a lot of different subjects and topics and on an international level, but also the fact that it's very academically rigorous, and that really allowed me to grow not only my soft skills, my organization and my time management skills, but also just my knowledge in a variety of subjects.
I definitely would recommend the program to people. I'd say it really pushes you. When I first came, I was really nervous that I wouldn't be able to do it, or that I didn't have the smarts to do it. I don't think doing IB has anything to do with intelligence. The name is International Baccalaureate, and they do have set standards of what they want you to do, because you have to be a well-rounded individual. You have to excel in extracurriculars as well as your academics. People do focus on the grades and everything, but it's more so about what you make out of the program. If you're not putting in the work, you're not gonna see that you're doing very well. But if you decide to take every step as it comes, you work on time, get your stuff in, talk to your teachers and everything, you definitely will be excelling in the program more than you think, and that's the kind of experience that I found.
I think personally, I just really wanted to be in the most rigorous program possible, in the sense that I like to be challenged, but also have a lot of opportunities for my learning. And I think the IB program does that really well, especially through CAS and through the various courses they offer. I feel like I'm being the best version of myself through my education.
IB is not for one type of person. I really encourage everyone, no matter your interests, to just give it a shot. You don't need to be a certain type of learner. You don't have to have a certain skill set to be in the IB program. The IB program really just encourages learning and wants you to have a passion for learning and a desire to further yourself.
IB prepared me to have a sense of resilience and know how to work through challenges, because there were points in IB where I faced challenges for maybe the first time, such as, for example, the extended essay, where you have to come up with your own topic. And for example, if you're writing an essay in English, they're not going to give you a list of books to choose from. You kind of have to work that out yourself. So learning how to work through those challenges made me more resourceful and develop that sense of resilience, so that in university, where there are less resources or less things handed out to you, you know how to work through those challenges.
There's a lot of courses that if I wasn't doing IB, I wouldn't normally have taken, like the extra history and the extra English. But after doing them, I think they really were worth it, because you learn a lot of really interesting things and a lot of useful skills that maybe outside the IB program you can still learn, but it's much easier to learn them within IB.
The IB program offers so many ways for students to express their creative liberty. So for example, CAS, for me, I got to start a yoga club at my school because that was something I was passionate about. Or I got to make the national dish of 40 countries, which was so cool too. So I just get to do these projects that I'm so passionate about, and I wouldn't have that opportunity without IB. So even your extended essay and CAS, the IAs, they're all opportunities or chances for you to explore things you're passionate about, both in math and science and French, anything really.
I think the biggest benefit of the program really has to do with the people. You do definitely get to foster a community, because you see them every day, seriously for every period. So you really get to know the people that you're working with, and they all have a like-minded passion and mindset, because they're all here to do the program. They're all working with you during the fun times as well as the difficult times when you have to get all your assignments in and when you have to start studying for exams. So you already have your study buddies, and you generally foster a sort of family. And I believe that's really the best part about the program.
I would recommend the program not only for the more academic reasons, obviously it challenges you, but more for the community that you build with all your friends and stuff. Because at the end of the day, the people who you spend all your classes with become some of your closest friends, and that's what really makes the program, instead of just a program, more like a community. That's what I like about it the most.
It's kind of just like regular school. You have your peers, you have people to talk to, and you have people to study with.
I think I would recommend the program for two main reasons. Firstly, the people you meet in IB are truly can truly be your lifelong friends. I think a benefit of IB that you don't see in regular programs is how you basically stay with the same cohort of people throughout all 4 years, and you see them in your classes, and having a group of supportive people who are all very driven to succeed really helps motivate you in high school to go out there and chase your dreams. And it's nice to have these friendships develop, and some of my closest friends today are from IB.
I would want prospective grade 8 students to understand that, it might be really daunting coming into high school, but the thing with the IB program is that you are placed in more high pressure situations, but you do have the full support of a full high school staff as well as your friends and teachers there to help you combat any challenges you may have.
The teachers were always really supportive. Anytime I had a question about an assignment or a test or course content, I've never had a moment where a teacher couldn't answer a question. And my classmates were always really helpful. If I had a question like outside of school, I could talk to them, and someone always had an answer.
I'd like to add that many students in IB tend to stress beforehand about their grades and how high they're scoring. But what I feel is that when I came into IB, I learned it's not only about the grades, it's about how much you're learning, how much you're understanding, and how curious you're becoming. Beforehand, I would have screamed if I got below a 90, but now, if I'm starting to understand, I'm learning more, gaining more knowledge, and at the same time actually improving my grades by not focusing as much on them and focusing on the learning. That's something I've truly learned from IB.
I would want them to know that IB isn't something that's like super scary and you'll like never have a life outside of just work. It's this program that aims to be well balanced, and is something that at the end of the day, the positive experiences are the reason that I took it at the end of the day.
I think for most of elementary school and like the beginning of part of high school before I started the program, I really believed that like I was someone who was like made for math and science and like STEM fields and STEM courses. But through the IB program, I had the chance to take theory of knowledge and economics and a lot of courses that were a little out of my comfort zone, but allowed me to learn so much about what I'm actually interested in and things that are outside of STEM that I also really enjoy.
Well, I think many times we are kind of pushed into one direction for your career or anything, but with the IB program, I really got to understand that, I can love STEM, but also, dive into humanities and liberal arts education. So it's just really nice to know that I can be like open-minded thinker and learner in many aspects.
I think in terms of the sciences, at least, you have this IA, which is like your personal investigation, and I really like that because you're able to explore whatever you like, and it gives you a bit of freedom and the ability to apply what you're learning in class, and I think that's really unique. In terms of like English and econ, they do go more in depth. There's a lot more discussion about international mindedness and how it applies to the world, and I really enjoy that as well.
I'd like to let you know that you shouldn't let anyone tell you not to join IB. You're not the type of person to join IB. I've seen so many people been discouraged this way, who I thought may have benefited from IB. I'm glad today that I stayed while a lot of other people who have their own reasons dropped. And for that reason, I truly believe IB was the right program for me.